I think we're live.
All right. Hello, everyone. We'll call the meeting to order. We will start out with approval of minutes from January 5th, 2021. If there are no questions, do we have a motion to approve those minutes?
I'll make it.
Second,
No second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. And once again, due to Executive Order 202.1, with the temporary suspension of in-person public meetings, if anyone has a public comment, they may do so by emailing the BOE at waltoncsd.org or by calling 607-865-4116 extension 6130. All right, we are up to discussion items.
Excuse me, Rhonda, we have the CSE recommendation.
Oh, I skipped right over them. I apologize. Yes, the approval of the CSE CPSE recommendations. If there are no concerns on those, do we have a motion to accept them as submitted?
Motion to accept.
Second,
I'll second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Okay. And now we're up to discussion items. The Finance Committee met on January 13th. And basically it's very preliminary, to say the least. We are expecting a increase in health insurance rates as well as the ERS rates. But right now we are still waiting to see if 20% will be held from additional aid payments. And to follow up with that, the Finance Committee has scheduled a meeting for January 27th at 5:30 by Zoom. Just so we can talk a little bit more and maybe have a little bit more information from the state with the state budget before we actually roll out a community budget forum. And then we also have to decide how we are going to hold that budget forum. So I don't know, Paul, if you wanted to add anything to that.
No, I would just say Meg took us through a number of really good slides. And Meg, I don't know if you shared that with the other members of the board or anything at this point, but it was, I mean, really good stuff. And again, it's a lot of it is still up in the air, not knowing what the state budget is going to look like. So that's why we decided we wanted to push it back toward the end of the year. It feels every year like it's deja vu all over again. We're waiting on the state's numbers and we're flexing our committee meetings to accommodate those, but we just need more certainty before we hold the budget forum. So that's why we put one at the end of the month.
Right. All right. The 2021 live virtual Capitol Conference that will be held on February 3rd from 8:30 to 1. Is there anybody else that is interested in attending that? Okay, I will not be able to attend that one, but I know Dr. McDonald, you will be in attendance. Okay.
Yes, I will.
Okay. And a reminder that Dr. McDonald would like to schedule a curriculum committee meeting in January around at 4:30. So who currently is on the curriculum committee?
Me,
It's
I am.
You and Miranda.
It's okay.
So we still have
do
one space open if somebody else would like to join that committee.
Okay.
And just a reminder that I've asked that we add the 3 building principals as instructional leaders in their building to the committee with us. And we'll meet, we'll talk about purpose of the committee. We really don't have any data with last year. So we'll look in, but we do have a number of curriculum rollouts to get some updates on. as well as a process of selection of a math curriculum for Townsend. So we have a number of things to discuss.
So would you like me to join that committee since I'm not on anything else right now?
Sure.
Okay. And when is that meeting?
That's what we're trying to work out. We only have a handful of days left. So Dr. McDonald, did you have,
I just thought if we could get one in January, or if we had to push to the beginning of February, so we had enough time span if we decided the committee to have another meeting. You know, we have the budget push, so we fit it in outside the budget push, all that time for a little bit of a span to assist you all with your scheduling.
next week I'm available other than the finance committee meeting on the 27th. So,
Okay, we may have to revisit the time because I don't know if 4:30 is too early for Chad.
okay.
I can make it work, just as long as I know which day it's going to be.
Okay,
I'll just.
Dr. McDonald, Corey, Rhonda, Chad, might be pushing it. I can't confirm nor deny a date at this point due to my situation. As
okay.
far-
Why don't I send an email then tomorrow with a couple of dates to see?
okay,
good.
that works. Hopefully, yes, but unless we do it via Zoom, then I can of course attend, but
Which at this point, I would recommend that we probably should plan them all by Zoom, don't you think?
Yes, I agree.
Absolutely.
okay, then any day at 4:30 would work for me if via Zoom.
And if at
Okay.
any time when we are doing the Zoom, if somebody has difficulty or needs to come, we easily can socially distance, put somebody in a different location on the school's network. So I just offer that up. We wouldn't have to be in the same rooms, but we got big facility. You guys know, I think you used it during your interview process, didn't you? I believe people were in
Yes.
different places at times.
All right, so we'll plan on that being at 4:30 via Zoom, and then Corey will wait for dates.
Right, I'll send some dates.
Okay.
Okay. And then just to remind Paul and Arnie that we do have another finance committee meeting January 27th at 5:30 via Zoom. And for discussion, the community budget forum that was scheduled for February 2nd at 7 p.m. I don't know, I guess we'll wait until after our meeting on the 27th to decide whether we postpone that. And then, of course, we'll discuss the format of it as well. I don't see that being in person, so we'll have to follow up with that. That sound good? Okay, are there any correspondence? There's no correspondence at this time, okay.
No,
And are there additions to the agenda?
no, we do not have any additions to the agenda.
Okay, so for the consent agenda, we have the finance reports. I don't have much room here. We have the declared surplus, the approval of the voting machine agreement with Delaware County Board of Elections. That's pretty much an annual agreement for use of their machines. And then we also have an emergency appointment for Catherine Burke. That is home instruction special education teacher for 1 hour per day for the 2021 school year. So are there any questions, concerns on that? If not, do we have a motion to accept the consent agenda?
I'll make the motion.
Second?
Arnie will second it.
Okay, all in favor?
I
Opposed? Carried. Okay. And then we have new business. We once again have several donations, which are very much appreciated. $200 from Tom and Nancy Truesdale for the use in the middle high school library in memory of Deborah DeMun Hubbs. $100 from Tom and Nancy Truesdale in memory of Valerie Vogel to the Townsend Elementary School Library Book Nook. And we have several supplies from Staples located in Vestal, New York, to the Townsend Elementary School. And those supplies consist of 192 2-ounce bottles of hand sanitizer, 192 16-count boxes of crayons, 192 12-count boxes of markers, and 100 two-pocket folders. Do we have a motion to accept those donations?
I'll make a motion.
Second?
I'll second.
Agreed, and I'll second it.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. And next we have the approval of the state aid and revenue review agreement. Meg, do you want to just give a little recap on that?
Sure. Quite a while ago, I think shortly after I first started, Rhonda had mentioned at a board meeting that there is a service available that will come in and review your state aid claims to make sure you're maximizing the state aid that you can claim. It took me a while, but I finally looked into that service, and there's a firm called School Aid Specialist that is endorsed by NYSBA, and they will come in and review our various state aid filings to be sure that we're not missing out on any state aid that the district is eligible for. They'll look at transportation aid, foundation aid, high cost aid, all those sorts of things. Basically, the way their arrangement works is if they find any aid that we're missing, once we adjust our claims and receive that aid, they will charge the district 15% of that aid amount. And they only charge that for the first year. So say, for example, they find that we were missing out on $10,000 of excess cost aid. We would adjust our claims. After we got the $10,000, they'd bill us for $1,500. And then in future years, when we claim that amount, it would all be retained by the district. I think this is a great opportunity just to make sure we've got all our ducks in a row, and it'll be a learning experience for those involved in filing the various reports that affect our aid. I'm anxious to get this going so that if there's any adjustments that we find that can be made, we'll have that information possibly for preparation of next year's budget. And pending your approval tonight, I tentatively have them scheduled to start on February 2nd.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions on that? No. Meg, I appreciate you looking into it. I think it's definitely worth seeing if there's anything that we may have overlooked and where we can actually increase possibly some more revenue. So thank you.
And just to add to that, as came up in the finance committee, school business is so nuanced that it's easy to overlook certain opportunities for reimbursement. I mean, coding, everything, it makes a big difference. So it's good to have somebody come in who specializes in this area to just take a second look. So
I agree. Thank you. So do we have a motion to enter into that agreement for state aid review?
make the motion.
Second,
Arnie will second it.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. And then also we have the approval of a revised correction action plan. Apparently they did not accept the word ongoing. Meg, do you just want to touch on that a little bit?
Basically, they wanted a definite completion date. I really think that us reviewing fund balance and looking at it is going to be an ongoing process. Each year as we prepare the budget, looking at what fund balance is available, and even other times throughout the year. But to accommodate state ed, I've put in a date of January 30th. So nothing else in what was previously adopted by the board has changed.
Okay. And again, are there any questions or concerns on that? If not, do we have a motion to accept that revised action plan?
I'll move it.
Second,
I'll second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. All right, we are up to, I forgot what number we're on.
8D.
Thank you, Corey. Emergency appointment. This is to appoint Nancy Schmidt to the labor class position of part-time school monitor. And the rate of $4,775. Do we have a motion to accept that emergency appointment?
I move it. Graydon?
Second,
Paul second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. All right, we are up to 9A, tenure appointment, and I will turn this over to Mr. Hoover.
My pleasure to join you all tonight. So I am going to introduce Katie Cuomo to you. I think you all know Katie. She has done a fantastic job in the library for us for the last few years. And before that, she did an awesome job in anything we needed her to do. In addition to manning our library, making it a welcoming place for our students. And, this year doing probably a lot more hands-on teaching with some of our overflow kids in there, remote learning. She also teaches a 10-week course for the middle school for our sixth graders. It's basically a middle school skills class. Has done an awesome job of that. And she works with our high school student council. So it's my pleasure to recommend Mrs. Katie Cuomo for tenure.
Okay. Do we have a motion to accept that appointment?
Kevin will move it.
Second,
I'll second it.
all in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Carried. Congratulations, Katie.
Congratulations. Well
Congratulations.
deserved.
We're sorry that we couldn't hold it in person and
That's okay.
celebrate it more.
Well,
It's
I
well
appreciate it. And thank you, Adam, for all those kind words. I really appreciate everything. That's great. You guys know how much I love the kids. So this is definitely a pleasure. And I'm very grateful and thankful that I was able to receive it even on Zoom. So thank you.
You're welcome. And thank you for following through with that. Okay. I do miss the celebration of it, though. It doesn't feel the same, but.
We can have a redo. We'll just do it all together
we
at the
go.
end of the year.
There we go. All right, we are up to administrative remarks.
So we've got, since we have Mr. Hoover, shall we at least have Mr. Hoover report out?
Sure.
Have him? We have time, I believe. So, Mr. Hoover, if you could be brief for us, we have a 6:30 timeline, so
I don't know the definition of being brief.
that's why I
Okay,
said
Donald.
that. That's why I said that.
We'll
So I'll
move
just
that
recap some of the things that were on my report. We did a lot of things to keep it as normal as we could before Christmas break. We had one of our 8th grade students dressed as Santa, and we did socially distanced and masked pictures of all the different groups with him. Kids really seemed to enjoy that. We did a joy wall. It's still up in the middle school. We plan to keep it up for a while longer, and each little berry and leaf has something that the students wrote on there that brings them joy, and we put it up there to display. We did a virtual awards assembly, I guess you'd call it, and took pictures of our students who made honor roll principals list and superintendent's list. Did our orange card drawings, and then we made a video so all the teachers could show that during their homeroom or advisor time. So it's not the same as having an assembly in the gym and calling the kids up, but it does recognize those kids who've done an awesome job with their academics. And the last thing I kind of want to mention is we're really making a real push right now for our fully remote students. We've realized that it's a lot more difficult to hold them accountable for their academics than the students who are actually in person. So we've reached out to those students. We're tracking the ones who need that extra assistance, and we're offering what assistance we can, and kind of saying if things aren't going well, we need to meet and figure out a way to make sure things start going better. And that's, I don't want to lump all of our fully remote students together, because a good number of them are doing a really good job given the circumstances. But there are some that we are concerned about, and we're doing everything we can and continue to come up with ways to help them be successful. In the actual report I sent, there's a link to the video, and I think there's also a link to my newsletter for January that has pictures of our door decorating contest was a part of that too. So we're doing everything we can to keep things normal, and make the kids so they can have some fun, given the constraints we're under. That was brief, right?
That was very good, Adam. That was very good.
And it is hard. It is hard, everything is Zoom, and, you're not in person. You're not getting that, that connection like we used to. But I'm glad that you're still following through, and giving special attention to those that, had the awards, and, recognizing them, just like we did this evening with, Katie Cuomo, that it just goes to show that we still, want to try to keep it as normal as possible under the circumstances. So we appreciate that. I like the joy idea, though. I think that's really good.
Yeah, I can't take credit for that, but I thought it was a really great idea also.
So the other two reports are there. Were there any questions regarding those, or anything that we need to bring back? I'm looking at the clock, so I'm trying to be brief myself. No? So I'm just going to echo on Adam's for my remarks. Rhonda, is a sense of normalcy. That's been a theme for us. If you remember back when we were doing the planning this summer, is how far can we get to getting to a sense of normalcy? And that's why we worked so hard to bring kids back with capacity, and to maintain in the Christmas events that we did. Today after school, first day of intramural, the new intramural and open gym, we did a count. We had about anywhere from 70 to 80 total participants today in day one. Unfortunately, Thursday will be canceled with the move to the 2-day remote for contact tracing. But for today, 70 to 80 students here after school, after hours. So just wonderful. But we'll continue to try to strive for those moments, those opportunities for a sense of normalcy. We're going to continue to assess our capacity to bring back any other grade levels that we can within our safety standards, but we will and we'll keep you apprised to those conversations as they come up. And that's all. I'm going to leave it at that. 6:24.
Good. And Dr. Mack, just to quickly touch on the elementary school with dropping off early at before 7:55. If there's parents out there that are listening, as it's getting colder, we can't mix cohorts, and that's one of the problems, is not being able to bring them into the school, at that time until they can get to their classroom. So that could be a concern.
Correct. So we're asking. There are a few students that we've had to, and parents have had a very difficult morning situations that we've been able to work with, but we got limited capacity of where we can put them safely to keep cohorting and keep them grouped during that time frame. So that was a reminder after the holidays. It's like anything else. When you're off for a while, you come back, you need to be reminded of your routine and what the needs are. And that 7:55 is the drop time, so that we can maintain those cohorts and have minimize the number of students that could potentially be placed, and adults, in quarantine if there is a event, as there is right now today, as we've experienced, an event of a positive COVID case coming in. That's really what it's about. It's about safety. It's about safety first. And if we don't keep them as separated and cohorted as we can, then we have a chance of having more and more students being quarantined and staff, and potential to have the remote time or in-person time limited and remote extended, as what happened in the fall with the 2-week period.
Right.
So.
Okay. so we do have a need for an executive session for the purpose of discussing a matter leading to the appointment of a firm to provide professional construction management services. Do we have a motion to enter exec?
Kevin
Graydon
will
will
move
move it,
So
or I'll second it, Kevin's.
Second, Graydon. All right.
it. Either way.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. All right, so there's a couple different links, so just make sure you're in the right meeting.
And I believe you're not taking any action after exec?
We may.
We may.
Okay, so we're gonna leave it.
No, but the issue would be this, if we do determine a direction to go with a CM tonight, we then have to develop a contract. So the approval would be, I think, at the next meeting, approving the contract. So tonight, the direction, if there is direction, will be given to us of who to develop a contract with, that we'll bring to you at the next meeting for your approval. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Is that a determination that can be made in exec or after?
It's just you giving us getting direction tonight after the presentations,
Okay.
not with any formal resolution. Resolution will be to accept the contract. To approve the
So then
contract.
no action will be being taken.
Correct.
Okay, so Corey, do you want me to go ahead and do the motion to adjourn, or I mean to return to exec?
And adjourn,
As well?
correct, please.
Okay, so do we have a motion following exec to return to general session and adjourn?
Yes, I'll make the motion.
Second,
I'll second it.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, we're in exec.